For the host. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It is Sunday night. It is 1933, and we are back in the New York groove. We've got a fistful of dollars, and we are ready to spend them all tonight with a little 1933 extracurricular activity with the wonderful and beautiful Olympians that you see around me. I want to get into it. We've got a lot to do. Last week was a by the numbers episode, A to B, no type of snafus with time travel, nothing like that. Let's get to it. Allison, tell me about it. Let's go.
Hey everybody, it's Allison. I play Caitlin Jane O'Callahan, aviatrix extraordinaire, princess of the skies, America's flying sweetheart. And I don't know what you've got planned tonight, Greg, but I'm just telling you, 1933 is like the sanest part of my life right now, okay? I get weirder things than you bring with my breakfast cereal in the morning. So just bring it. I'm ready.
For a half a split second, I thought that was a compliment. Like, you know, you keep it together, Greg. Everything is just right down the money, and then you just blast me with the Lucky Charms is crazier than what I'm doing. Okay, challenge accepted. Lauren, go.
Okay, hi. Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm that salty ginger. I play Miss Sabella Marie Ives about Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore in the beautiful Lower East Side of Manhattan. I must remember to say that she's psychic because I keep forgetting, but it seems like it might be relevant. So there's that, and I am very excited. I'm currently on top of our former employee, and I don't know anything that's going on downstairs in my bookstore. It's going real well.
It's going nice. We'll get to the recap in a minute, but before we get to that, let's get things rolling. See what I did there? Steve, Dwight, how's he doing, buddy?
He's doing okay. He's full health and ready to go. Play Dwight Bird Sniper. Let's move on. And he's hurting, but we'll see how it turns out.
How hurting is he, Steve?
5 hit points hurting.
He's at 5 hit points, everybody, in Cthulhu. Strider, take it from there.
What a segue. I am playing Elijah Sawyer, jack of all trades, con man, military general, space adventurer, just whatever he wants to tell you, you'll probably believe him. He is in a pickle right now, so I want to see if he can apply his trade and talk his way out of this one. It's going to be fun.
Someone had a fantastic theory about Elijah Sawyer that he is actually either H.P. Lovecraft or Robert E. Howard. He's one of the two, and these are all figments of his imagination as he's creating whatever. I thought it was cool anyway. I liked it, enjoyed it. Lindy, did you like it?
I want to hear
enjoy
the
it?
Elijah Sawyer fanfics.
All right. Keep them coming, everybody.
Give me your fan theories. Yeah, let me hear.
Right. Lindy.
Yeah, I'm going to be playing Dr. Greta von Kraus, world's best doctor. Also bioengineer, scientist. You know, not at all morally questionable in any way, shape, or form. Totally took the Hippocratic Oath and is just ready to, hopefully get some science in on tonight. But we'll see, because there's a bunch of guys with, like, guns or something at the front of this bookstore. What's that about?
I don't know if we mentioned guns last time. Did we mention guns? We mentioned that there are people.
There's bad guys in suits. Like, it's all crazy.
Okay, well, we didn't mention that they were bad guys either. Your good buddy Phil Castillo seemed to think that they were.
I don't like him.
Well, let's see if we can't change that. It's 1933 after all. This isn't 2018. We don't all have to hate each other. We can. Let's see if we can't go back to come together. And that's what I'm hoping that we do here tonight on Project Athena, Pulp Cthulhu, 1933. My Olympians are here. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Olympians, don't listen for a second. Everybody, I'm going to help the Olympians out tonight. I usually don't take sides in all of this. Usually I am an impartial keeper of Cthulhu lore. But tonight, I'm going to be a little biased. I'm taking some sides tonight. I'm going to help out. You watch. I'll prove you right. Anywho, the recap of last week is our Olympians were sucked from nowhere back to the beautiful New York City in 1933, albeit 4 or 5 years later than when they remembered it being. We are currently on July 27th, Thursday of 1933. After some going to the hospital, making sure that Dwight didn't die, finding out they no longer were carrying the Yellow Death, they met a really interesting paramedic, And then they went back to Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore, where they found that one Syl Jefferson was in charge of the place. They also found out that Einstein was gone, that Thomas Mueller was gone, and they also found out that their guy Jack Kilgrave was lying comatose in a bed. Didn't respond to shaking, his name, being jumped on and ridden by Sabella, none of it worked. So we know something's wrong. Also, in addition to that, we realized that Dr. Greta von Krause has another hobby. It's mail theft. She loves it. Can't get enough of it. But we have a lot of things that have been dropped around. There was a newspaper that was thrown at the wounded Dwight Burke and the guarding Cato Callahan. We've got a mysterious clue that was left in the hand of Jack Kilgrave. A quote from Alice in Wonderland. But that all kind of pales in comparison to the firebrand that has walked into Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore by the name of Phil Castillo. Phil Castillo is there for a derelict, an alias of Elijah Sawyer. But while he was there conversating with Elijah and Dwight Burke, and some of the other Olympians, two other gentlemen walked in, one of them wearing mirrored shades. And we all know, when there's mirrored shades, there's theme music and there's trouble. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get back into everything, but we're going to start in the upstairs bedroom of Sabella Ives as she witnesses the arrival of Einstein and a teenager, followed quickly by a bevy of cars and two suited men walking into her own bookstore. How would you like to handle this?
Katie, we got company. They're people. Mr. Einstein's here, look. Still on Jack.
I'm looking out the window. Am I seeing all this as well?
By the time you get over to the window, Kate, you see that there are several like sedan-esque cars out there. They didn't really have sedans, but they're four doors that are out there. And you see several men kind of propped up against them in various states of guarding and alertness as they seem to be watching the front of the building.
Kate looks out the window and then she looks back and then back out the window for a second and then back at Sabella. Sabella, I think there's about to be trouble.
How did people find out we were back? If they're here for us, they could just be customers, in which case I should probably go and greet them.
No, I don't think that would be a good idea. Why don't you and Syl, you two just wait right here. I'm gonna go check this out.
Syl walks up to the window and looks out, and she sees all the people, and she goes, "Oh, Miss Ives, we've never had that many customers."
Well, we're gonna have to work on that, Syl. We need a new marketing push as soon as we handle whatever is going on.
And Kate gets ready. She's just about ready to climb out this window, out to the fire escape. But she stops. And then she looks back towards Sabella. And she pulls off her glove and holds her hand out like this.
What are you doing?
Just
Are we high-fiving? What are we doing?
just maybe just take this for a second, would you?
I'm very uncomfortable, and I'm gonna smile real big. There's stuff going on, Katie. I don't know what I gotta work on maybe waking up Jack. I don't know what's happening. I'm very uncomfortable with what is happening.
All right. And Kate's out the window.
Okay, Kate, you are headed out the window, and you're kind of coming in the alley between Ives, and you can see the front street, so you're coming down on the side.
Okay. I just want to get to the ground first.
Okay, you're in the process of going down. No rolls. This is Kate O'Callahan. She knows how to navigate a fire escape, up or down. Sabella, what are you going to do?
Do the cars look government in nature? I don't know if that's
Describe government cars to me, and I'll tell you if it matches your description.
Super generic.
These look like a lot of cars that you see driving around. It's quite possible these could be generic cars.
Okay. I am going to. Okay, I'm going to start. I'm going to go outside my door. I'm going to tell Syl to stay right here. And I'm going to go to my door and peek out down the hall.
The hall that ends up behind the desk, right?
Well, I'm upstairs. The hall that ends up. Yeah, I can see down the hall to the stairs.
You're not peeking down the stairs. You're just looking down the hall that goes to the stairs.
Yeah, for now.
Okay, so you're waiting to see if somebody comes up the stairs. Is what you're waiting for.
Yeah.
Okay. Allison, we're going to say that Kate jumps down to the bottom, and this will kind of narratively, with the end of last week, right as Kate's boots touch the ground, Phil Castillo leans over to Elijah Sawyer and says, "Hey, want another one for old times?" And that's where we are right now. Allison, what would you like to do?
I want to take a look at what I can see from the spot that I'm in without exposing myself a whole lot more.
Okay, let's do a spot hidden here, and this is to see how much you can see in addition to keeping yourself hidden.
Let's see if adding those points to spot hidden was helpful at all.
Nope,
not this time.
You're able to get a kind of a ground's eye view of everything that you saw from the elevated position of the second floor. But when you look around, you realize that one of the guys that's smoking a cigarette looks over and sees you and narrows his eyes as you kind of pull your head back around the corner.
I'm going to get out my Serpent Gun and hold my action for a little bit here.
Okay, and since we are in season 2, describe the Serpent Gun just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, so the Serpent Gun is an artifact that we found in Bolivia that seems to have a special affinity toward Kate for some reason. It looks like two serpents sort of wrapped in opposing helixes, and it wraps around her wrist, and the two heads sort of come off like this, and it shoots magic using my magic points as ammo, and it's pretty freaking deadly.
That's a technical term, everybody. It does shoot magic.
Yeah.
So as you put the Serpent Gun or reintroduce it to your hand, the tails eagerly wrap around and squeeze very tight as it moves its way and inches down your forearm into place.
Atta girl. All right, just be patient. You'll get your chance in a second.
Okay, let's cut back inside. As in the main floor, we have Elijah Sawyer. We have Dr. Greta Von Krause, who's kind of creeping and peeking in from the back, correct, Lindy? She's not...
Yeah.
And we have a very, very wounded Dwight Burke, who is managing somehow to lean against the front counter, albeit in a very weakened state. We have Phil Castillo. Right. Yeah, you're up by the desk. You never moved. You couldn't move. You are hurt. And for those of you who are wondering what Phil Castillo looks like, I will put him up here for you to see at home. There he is. He's a little, if you're going to imagine him, he's like a young Rock Hudson. So there's Phil for you. So as Phil is there, he saddles up to Elijah as two men enter. One of them is wearing mirrored shades. Both of them are wearing suits. And Phil Castillo leans over to Elijah Sawyer, and he has fire dancing in his eyes, as Phil Castillo is somebody that is either a practitioner of the occult or has been changed by it, in that he can turn into a being of fire and return unscathed. He leans over to his buddy, Daryl Lecht, played by Elijah Sawyer, played by Strider, and he says, "So, what do you think? One for old time's sake." And he turns back and looks at the suited men as they walk in. What would you all like to do?
The words from Castile are... They don't find a place in Elijah's ears. He doesn't hear them. He steps forward a little bit, kind of realizing that this Claire Foster lookalike is actually Ruby. And says under his breath, "As I live and breathe, Ruby Foster? Is that you?"
Without hesitation, the teenage girl runs across the floor and throws herself into the arms of Strider, tears streaking down her face as she wraps you in a powerful hug. She's much taller than you remember her being, obviously. But that same feeling is there when the psychic impression of a younger Ruby Foster held on to you during the trip to Borneo and in Borneo proper. And this time she is older, but no less eager to see you.
Damn, girl, it's good to see you all right. How long we been away? Then the gravity of the situation kind of hits him, and he will stop the embrace, kind of turn and look over at Castile.
Castillo, for a moment, looks at Elijah, the man he knows as Derelict, and his eyes drift over to Ruby and back and forth as if marking something, as if taking in a bit of information that he was unaware of, and seeing such an intimate connection with somebody that he has never seen have an intimate connection with anyone. It is definitely something that Mr. Castillo will not forget.
Now, Mr. Castile, you know these people, you say? If that is true, you know they're not an enemy to be reckoned with. Why are you so eager to start shit? What would the boss say?
I was just seeing what you would say, Daryl. These are feds. I ain't gonna kill any feds. At this point, the one with the mirrored glasses walks over and says, looking for a Sabella Ives? Is she here?
He looks over at Dwight.
Hello?
Will refrain looking at Greta, just, I
Wait.
forgot about that one. She's here, right? No? Yes?
But it says, who's asking?
The guy with the mirrored glasses turns around and he reaches into his pocket very carefully and pulls out of his inner coat pocket a printed license that he holds up to you. It doesn't say FBI, it doesn't say CIA, but it does, however, carry the initials BOI, the Bureau of Investigation. As he shows it, he introduces himself. My name is Agent Helmsley. This is Agent Michaels. Where is Sabella Ives?
What do you need with her? You know, Dwight's obviously shaky, you know.
We have just introduced ourselves as official government agents. I need the owner of this premises, if she is on this premises, to approach right now. The rest of you, I need you to line up against this wall. And he points to the wall opposite of the front desk. Now.
Does he see me?
He hasn't noticed that
I
he's...
kind of just slink back a bit, and I come on, go up the stairs, and I go find Sibylla.
So you're going to try to sneak upstairs? Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a staircase back there that she can get up? Or is there only the one staircase, Lauren?
I guess out back there would probably be.
Okay. So there's a rear entrance. I need you to roll a stealth check for me here to see if you can creep back away from...
This is bad. I'm debating just critting it.
I'm here to help. What can I do to help? Thank you, everybody.
I'll try rolling it. Oh,
I'd crit it, but okay. Let's try it out.
Final crit it. Damn it. Sneaky.
Great. You succeed. You're able to expertly sneak away up the stairs as Greta peels out from the Sancta Sanctorum of Sabella, where she performs her psychometry readings, creeps up the stairs. And Sabella, as you are up there, you are hearing the yells for your name, and you see Greta creep up the back staircase as her eyes meet yours as she kind of passes over the plane.
There are Bureau of Investigation people looking for you downstairs, and they are asking everyone else to line up at the wall.
So not customers.
Why are you on top of Jack?
I was trying to wake him up. I'm not. I'm at the door now, but
I had no idea you were so informal with him that you would wake him up like that.
I was trying to find his hat to surprise him. It's all got misconstrued.
The way you are sitting on him, I believe.
Should we go downstairs, like right now?
You should definitely probably go downstairs. I'm debating how the Bureau of Investigation is going to treat the German doctor who hasn't really done much paperwork after getting to the United States for defecting. So
sure, maybe we should switch.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
You
come in here.
Yeah.
Can you just protect him?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
His eyes are open and he's not responding. Syl can catch you up.
I'll investigate. Syl should go downstairs too, or leave out the back door. But go.
All right. I'm gonna start making my way to the stairs.
Okay, so you creep down the stairs, just in time to hear that last exchange between, as Dwight and this agent seem to kind of be going a little bit back and forth. What's everybody doing? Are you going to be walking over to the far wall, or are you going to be peering relentlessly at the agents trying to spot something? Let me know.
Elijah's going to try to be analyzing these guys, see if they look nervous, if he thinks they're about to pull weapons on us. But he's going to be doing that while saddling up next to Castile. He's going to stand shoulder to shoulder with him, and he's not... Unless Castile's backing down, which I doubt he would, I'm just going to stand next to him.
Okay. So you walk over. Castillo doesn't seem to be upset by this in the least. He walks over and follows orders and leans up against the wall, with books and everything, as you do it as well. Dwight, what are you doing? And then if you want to roll a psychoanalysis, you can, psychology. Yeah, these guys seem to be, Elijah. These seem to be textbook guys. They are doing things pretty by the book here. And, they've announced themselves. They've, cordoned you guys off. You know a good bit about law enforcement, Elijah, and this seems to be pretty textbook. Dwight, what are you doing?
Dwight is going, he does spot hidden anything out of the ordinary. He's gonna be like, can I at least get in the wheelchair here? Can't you see I'm injured?
They basically just nod. And out of the ordinary would be as follows. There are 2 government officials in Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore, as well as a mafioso who can light himself on fire. Beyond those normal things, everything else seems pretty mundane.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Dwight will get in the wheelchair and he'll kind of, play the act. And is his 45
Roller,
with him?
welcome to the party, pal.
You're muted, Greg.
I am muted. Is your 45 with you? Is that what you asked?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got your weapons with you. Your sniper rifle laying there as well.
Oh, well, I can't imagine he could shoot a grand. I mean, I'm just being honest.
Well, I'm
Are you
helping.
allowing it?
No, I'm just helping. I'm helping you to know that it's there.
Dwight will get in the wheelchair and he'll follow suit with Sawyer and Castile.
Okay, so you roll yourself over to the side. At this time, just as you kind of reach over to the end, Sabella, you're coming down the steps. Kate, back outside. What would you like to do?
Kate notices that person saw her peeking around the corner, right? Okay, so I kind of reach across to where I have my 45 holstered and draw that lefty. Serpent Gun in my right. And then she takes a deep breath. And she turns and walks out of the alley into the street toward those cars. What's the distance here?
Distance between to set up for theater of the mind. It's like you're splitting out between an alley of a business district here in the Lower East Side. You have 3 cars that have pulled up to the front, 2 that are on the same side as Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore, and 1 that's across the street. Outside, it appears that there are between 3. There looks like there may be a 4th behind the wheel of one of the cars, for a grand total of 4, anywhere from 30 to 50 feet away.
Okay. 3 cars. How many people do I see? Say that one more time for me.
You see 3 to 4. There may be one behind the wheel of the far car across the street.
Oh, okay.
You're not real sure. That spot hidden was sort of shitty, so.
Okay. Now, I thought this was going to be difficult. All right. Thank you. So Kate comes around that corner and she's got on the strut that you haven't seen since she walked onto the Akron for the very first time. And calling out to the one that saw her, but to all of them in general, she says, "Well, hey there, boys. What are y'all doing here?"
As soon as you walk out,
no attempt to hide the firearms, by the way. No attempt to hide.
They don't really pay much attention to the Serpent Gun, as it is not really weapon-esque as far as just the shape, but holding a 1911 in your left hand, you see them all start going for under the, a couple of them are going for hip holsters, a couple of them are going for under the arm holsters, as they one of them throws up their hand and says, "Ma'am, drop that weapon, ma'am."
How close am I at this? How much closer have I gotten?
You're able to clear about 10 feet, so you're between 20 and 40 feet of everybody.
Okay. So she holds up her left hand with the 45 in it and lets it just sort of dangle from her trigger fingers. "Well, all right. Don't jump to conclusions here, boys. I think we might all be on the same side. Let's just
drop the weapon. Put the weapon on the ground, please." A couple of them have pulled the guns out of the holsters, but the one that's talking to you seems to have a hand under his coat in a holster and just his other hand up, trying to diffuse the situation before it becomes indefusable.
"Well, all right. I'm gonna put it down. I don't want to drop it though. I'm gonna kneel down and put it on the ground. I'll kick it over to you. All right?"
"Okay, that's fine. Please do so."
All right. So as I'm kneeling down, I want to get a look at the closest car. And just would you like me to do a mechanical roll to see if I can guess where the fuel tank is?
Jesus. Yeah, you can roll a mechanical roll for me.
All righty then. And I roll these with advantage. So that's a hard success and a hard success.
Yeah, the standard, these are sedans. The tank is anywhere from middle to middle right of you can see it when you kneel down. You can see the bubble of it underneath there.
All right, then from that kneeling position, I'm going to, as I'm with one hand, with my left hand sitting down the Serpent Gun, or sitting down the 45, I'm going to be kind of holding the Serpent Gun out as if to balance myself, and I'm going to take a shot at that fuel, fuel tank.
Okay. This will be a hard shot, since it is a called shot. So you're going to shoot, and I will give you 2 shots at it to get a hard, because you're not quite in Fan the Hammer with the snake, but you can take 2 shots at the fuel tank.
All righty. Let's see.
They can't hear me right now, everybody. I was trying to help them.
Damn. All right, okay. I got success, but not a hard.
You 2 luck away.
Oh, am I really? Oh, I am. Yeah, I'll take those 2 luck.
Okay. Let's cut back inside. As Sabella, you are coming down the steps. You see.
Just happy to meet new people. Make a good first impression.
The agent with the mirrored glasses turns around and says, "Miss Sabella Ives?"
Yes, hi.
At this point, he reaches in and he pulls out a what appears to be a bundle of papers that he splits into two. And he says, "We have a court order to search these premises, and I also have a writ of seizure for one Jack Kilgrave. I need you to sit on the side here. We're going to search these premises with my men outside. It is not intrusive. We will not be going into your private affairs. We just need to look at every room you have. Please open any locked doors. And if Jack Kilgrave is on the premises, I need you to point him out to me."
Jack Kilgrave. Well, I just got back, so I mean, he could be around. There's some rooms in the back down here.
Ma'am, we know that Jack Kilgrave is on the premises. We also
I did
know
not
that
say that he wasn't, sir.
I think that you are being...
What?
Let's say you're hesitating, Miss Ives. When you
just being
hesitate,
friendly.
I get to step up my level of intrusion into this matter.
Is that an official rule somewhere written down?
For today, it is. So how would you like to do this, Miss Ives? This is your place. I have served you with the papers from the court. You can, tell me to... We can have a problem with this. You can tell me that you don't know Jack Kilgrave. You can tell me that there isn't what I need to know here. And at that point, there is an explosion that rocks from the front as the front glass of Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore shatters inward. I need everybody to roll a Dex saving throw for me, please.
Even those upstairs with Jack?
No, upstairs you're fine.
Okay.
Success on my end.
Fail.
Somehow,
You are dexterous in your little wheelchair, dude.
somehow Dwight's able to wheel himself around in the back of the wheelchair, catches a couple shards of glass about a foot long. Let's see. So that's shards of glass exploding inwards. We'll go with that. That's about right because of the explosion. And 5 damage as Sabella gets blasted off from where she had come down the steps from behind the counter. She gets thrown over the counter and smashes into the ground. However, let's make sure that we see what happens to Agents Helmsley and Michaels. As Michael somehow makes it out of the way, but Agent Helmsley does not.
Mirrored glasses guy. It's Helmsley, right?
Yeah, guy with the glasses is Helmsley, guy without is Michaels. So you see both of them get pitched forward. Michaels is able to keep his feet somehow as he kind of slides to the ground, but Helmsley face plants and slides forward, a gash across the back of him as the doors kind of rocket open and the glass in the doors crashes and shatters. At this point, Phil Castillo starts to laugh. Just a deep belly laugh as he is sitting there watching this explosion go off. He himself seems not to be injured or perturbed by anything that's happened
Literally done.
because he is covered in a small glistening shell of fire as he is standing there just laughing. And you see this burning face look down at Elijah, and he says, "Boy, oh boy, Daryl. You surrounding yourself with some crazy fucking people." And he starts walking towards...
I have to work with.
He's walking back and he goes, "If you make it out of this, the Green Garden Cafe, you know where to find my uncle. Call first. Don't just show up like a putz. Call first and set something up. I don't know if you're getting out of this, but hey, you came back from the dead." As he's walking towards the back, he's leaving burning footprints on the floorboards that are beginning to catch.
No! This is so bad!
Slender,
Damn
welcome
it,
to the party, pal. And if you haven't followed yet, by the way, one more follow and everybody on screen gets advantage. Anywho,
You'll see me soon, Castile.
Right, and Castillo walks out the back, leaving trailing fiery footprints. I need to know what everybody's doing. Upstairs, Greta, you see the following. You see the exchange between Kate and the men outside. You see Kate lean down, take a shot from about 30 feet away, as you see first one sedan explode, followed quickly by the second as it was parked next to it, blows up, and you see parts of the people that were standing around the cars go flying. It is pandemonium here on the Lower East Side as you are kind of rocked back in just a shock, and Syl goes, "My God, what happened?" She was with Jack.
Dieses ist nicht gut. Well, we should go. This is very bad. Very, very, not good. Not good. Yeah, so and Jack's like creepily, eyes open, passed out, like on the bed.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to have been affected at all by anything.
And that is not good either. Well,
You can roll me a spot hidden, though, if you like.
Okay, sure. I should have upped this score. Yeah, now I'll say anything.
Yeah, his eyes are wide open.
Cool.
Can't-
I was gonna medicine check him and see what I could do, but at this point I'm like,
Yeah,
seems
okay.
like-
I will tell you this. This will be your last action in the room before I cut to somebody else.
I'm not gonna medicine him. But her train of thought is things are probably gonna escalate after that down the stairs, and we should probably go. Is there like the way I snuck out to come up these stairs? Do I think I could sneak Jack and Syl out that way?
The back staircase, the one that you
Yeah.
came up.
Yeah.
You could probably, you and Syl could definitely go back down that way. It seems that everything's happening at the front of the building.
Yeah.
But boy, oh boy, you're not real sure you're going to be able to get, Agent Helmsley is here. You're going to be able to get, Jack down the steps.
I'm pretty strong. I don't know about that.
Well, no, I mean, you were trying to do this quietly, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah. I can
Okay,
carry
yeah.
him.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to let you try. I'm just saying that I'm
Yeah.
here to help tonight, Lindy. I'm
Okay.
trying to
Yeah,
say-
Yeah.
Greg, you're here to help.
I am helping.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna crack my knuckles here and really
All
try
right.
to help.
Yeah, get to it.
So yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna try to carry Jack quietly down the stairs. Granted, there's a lot of noise going on right now, so I would think that helps me.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I would
okay.
like you to roll two things for me. The
Okay.
first is a strength check with advantage because Syl will help you.
Okay.
The second is a stealth at advantage, but you're going to be rolling for all three. Okay, so
Okay.
you're not necessarily going to fail or succeed. It's the group failing or succeeding.
Okay. So here's the strength with advantage. It's a hard success. Greta's pretty strong. It's the strong jumping genes. And then, what is Syl and Jack's stealth?
Oh, they're relying on you.
Oh, they're relying on me.
Yeah,
Well,
they're
Uh,
NPCs, Lindy.
we're gonna see. I was hoping that the NPCs would have a stealth score.
You would, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Okay, let's see. All right. Hopefully, I'm better at stealthing than swimming. Advantage? Nope. That's Jack.
Okay, so you are able to muscle Jack down the steps. And as you get to the bottom of the steps, you see the back doors. You're turning just in time to see the fiery figure of Phil Castillo walk past. And as he walks past, he turns and looks up, and you see the burning orbs that are his eyes.
Oh,
and he
I get
sees
so
you.
bad.
He sees you carrying Jack down the steps, and he goes, "Jesus Christ, this is crazy." And he just opens the door and walks out. And as he walks out and leaves, you come down the steps. But maybe because the eyes were drawn in the same direction as Phil Castillo's burning form, or because of where he was thrown in from his ejection from the front of the store, Agent Helmsley, as he looks up, you see the reflected vision. Somehow the glasses stayed on. The reflected vision of Phil Castillo trailing off as he goes through the back door, but you see them look up and engage you. You're about 20, 25 feet away from him as he stands there, but he looks and sees you, Jack resting on your back.
And we leave. I don't know that they're looking for Jack. I just saw explosions and was like, GTFO.
Yeah, he says, wait, as you can tell that your medical opinion, just by looking at him, his wind's been knocked out of him a bit. Taking a bad bump.
Can't hear him. You know, there's so much noise.
Right. And Syl's sitting there and she goes, should we help them? And as you're... Right, so you're able to pull out, and as you get into the back alleyway, you see the trailing form of Phil Castillo as he walks. He cuts off his flame about halfway down the alleyway.
Yeah, we go look for a nice place to lay low. Hi.
Okay. I'm gonna make you. Why don't you go ahead and roll me another stealth or strength check as you guys are trying to double team it out of there. Now let's cut back to Kate. Kate, as soon as the serpent gun went off and you expertly hit the gas tank of the sedan and it erupted in that same type of powered green flame that blasted out, it erupted and crept along the length of the sedan, leapt to the second sedan, and caused it to blow up. This is an effect that you saw one time before whenever you were kind of really shooting against the people up in Harlem. You saw that as it burned through and kind of left that cauterized wound, it kind of leapt and continued to crawl and run. And this went off, but as the explosion went off and there was a mingling of fossil fuel and green flame, it rushed around you and you remained perfectly fine as you were able to stand up and witness the explosion that has now occurred here in the Lower East Side of 1933 Manhattan. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm not sure that's necessarily a good thing. Looking back toward the bookstore, tell me what I see.
You see that the front windows have been either cracked or shattered as just the concussive blast of this dual explosion that went off has just kind of this leveled the weaker material, the fragile nature of the glass, blasting it inwards. You do catch a glimpse of Castillo. It looks like that you think, oh my gosh, there's a fire inside. But then you see the form walking, just maybe the head and shoulders of it, and realizing that this may in fact be the Phil Castillo that everyone's talking about. What would you like to do?
I'm going to run up toward the door of the bookstore and try to get inside from the front.
Okay, as soon as you run up and you rush inside, I would like you to roll a strength check for me here.
That's weird. Fail.
Super fumble. As you run in, you see, just as you clear the door, one of the agents, one that didn't seem to be as affected, Agent Michaels, jumps and reaches for you and comes around behind you and wraps around your arms. And he can't hold the grip, though, as you're able to bust free and you spin around and you see him reaching for his weapon as you guys are literally 3 to 4 feet away from each other. You do get the following sit rep just from your periphery. You see that Sabella's down, the other agent's down, Dwight is somehow fine, and Einstein and Ruby are both down as well. And you see that Elijah is standing there too.
So this is the only other one that was on the inside, right? This Michaels fella?
Agents Michaels and Helmsley.
How far am I? We're like right on top of each other, aren't we?
You guys are literally like, he had you around from the behind. You broke free, stumbled away, and you are paces from each other. 2 or 3 paces. He's going for a gun.
And we're outside?
You're right inside the door.
Got it. Okay. Fuck. I gotta fucking play it.
Love it. I mean, sometimes you just gotta say, what the fuck, right? I mean, there's no other.
Yeah, twice in one night, though, might not be so great. I'm gonna jump for him is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try and jump on top of him.
You're going to try to jump on top of Agent Michaels?
Yes, I am.
Okay, well, let's do a... are you trying to hurt him? Are you
No,
trying to knock him out,
I'm trying to
restrain him?
restrain him.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a fighting brawl, because this is going to be more of a holding back the gun, going in for the punchy punch.
Womp womp.
Okay. And as he retaliates, Kate, you feel a punch or a fist crack against your jaw for 3 damage as he pulls your arm aside, and as it exposes your face, he just punches you full, just right across the jaw with a solid straight right. Elijah, you see this. Dwight, you see this. Sabella, roll me a constitution check for me, please. Okay, Sabella, you're able to push yourself up off the ground.
Yes, I am. And I see my store, my home,
Mint Magician, thank
my
you for the
heart
subscription. You
in
have
ruins.
2 crits. If you want to give them to somebody, let me know in chat.
So, where's that nice glasses wearing agent? Because I just assumed that they did this. Because who else would ever do this to me?
He is lying about halfway down the floor of the front room. He's starting to pick himself up, and you see him kind of yelling. You can't really make it out over the roar and the just the echo and the club level eardrum pounding that's still in your ears from the concussion, concussive blast. And you see him yelling at somebody further down in the store. But from your
Agent
position,
Helmsley?
you see him kind of stop, and he turns around, and you see the mirrored glasses looking at you.
Well, I'm gonna try and hurt him, Greg.
How would you like to hurt him?
Well, if he looked at me, I don't know how his stupid glasses didn't get blown off, but I'm going to assume his eyes are in the direction. So,
Can you see his eyes?
I don't know. Can I?
He's got mirrored glasses on. I
Oh,
would like
okay.
to help
I'll walk over and pretend to help him.
You're gonna walk over and pretend to help him. As you're walking over to help him, I would like everyone to know that the Mint Magician who just subscribed has given a crit to Elijah and a crit to Kate. Use them wisely, my Olympians.
Right, so I'm walking over and pretending to help him.
Well, welcome to the party, pal. Okay, so you're walking over to help him, and as you're walking over, he kind of rolls over on his back. Let's see if he can kip up here or not. Yep, you see that with an arch of his back and a kick of his legs, he goes from lying on his back to standing, as it appears to be some type of, I don't know, it might be a wrestling move that he just instantly regains his feet.
Does the trajectory knock off his sunglasses, Greg?
Of course
Please try
not.
to imagine that move logically, though.
Don just donated a crit success for Sabella, I believe.
Oh, no.
Thank you, brother. Okay, so the glasses are not off. I need to know what you want to do right now, because Agent Helmsley is going to be doing something right now.
I want to snatch his glasses off.
You're going to try to snatch his glasses off?
Yes, sir.
You're going to snatch the glasses. Okay. Do a fighting brawl for me. This is just like what happened with Kate as she was trying to restrain Agent Michaels. You are trying to deglass Agent Helmsley. Let me see what you got.
I used the crit.
The crit. Okay, so as you spend your crit to rip the glasses off of
And break them too.
That's gonna be another crit. I'm not sure.
No, it will not.
Know what you're dealing with here, but okay. Somehow you're able to expertly pinch off the glasses of Agent Helmsley, and much like in Flash Gordon, when the androids that were manning the weapons generator in the end at Mongo City began to scream as their glasses were taken off, so too does Agent Helmsley, as he has never been without the shades in any type of light for quite some time. As it, for a moment, it disorients him, but he goes for his gun anyway. And as he pulls it out, he fires. For 7, as he point blank shoots Sabella Ives in, we're going to call it the hip, as he just takes a shot at you as he pulls it out. And I need you to roll a con check for me to see if you can keep your feet.
Yep.
Somehow, tough as nails, Dwight Burke and Sabella Ives are able to keep their feet, but Sabella, you do feel the rip as it goes through your dress, clips your hip. You're not sure if it's clipped any bone when it went through, but this is a pain that you have seldom experienced, and it is fantastic in its delivery. As he's standing there kind of disoriented with the smoke, the fire along the floor is beginning to spread a bit. I would like to know, Strider, what's Elijah doing? And Steve, what is Dwight doing?
Elijah throws his hands up as there's the explosion outside. He manages to stay on his feet. He sees Kate run in the front door and get punched in the face, and he just looks over and sees Sabella get shot. And looks out the back door where Castile left just a moment ago. And he sees a clear line to leave the place. And he looks down and he sees Ruby Foster and Einstein lying on the floor after they got knocked over too. And not as literal as the fire in Castile's eyes, there is a furrowed brow and a, against his better judgment, sense of duty. And he's gonna pop his .32 revolver into his right hand from his sleeve, jump forward as close as he can to the two agents. I want to fan the hammer and shoot one at the no longer glasses agent, and then shoot 2 at the writhing mass that is the fighting Kate and the other dude.
Okay, 2 into Agent Helmsley, 1 into the presently engaged Agent Michaels.
Other way around, 1 at Helmsley and then 2 at Michaels.
Oh, I'm sorry, 1 at Helmsley, 2 at Michaels. Okay, anything
Yes.
that's going into Helmsley, I'm going to need it to be a hard shot or better, because not that it'll hit Kate, I'm just saying that you're trying not to hit Kate, I'm assuming, and it's going to make the shot a bit more difficult as they are tussling. Agent Helmsley is a normal shot.
For Helmsley, a normal success with 8 damage. And I will fire the other 2. 1 hard success for 9 damage.
Okay.
You said I needed a hard on the second one, so 1 success on Glasses Kid and 1 hard success on the fighting.
Right. Did you want to fire the third shot at Michaels? You have 3.
I fired 3.
Oh, you did?
I got a success, and a hard success, yes.
Okay, so the success on the first shot on Helmsley that was not a hard one, on Michaels it was not a hard one. It just misses both of them, luckily. But as you shoot, you kill both agents as you blast them. Helmsley seems to have already suffered some damage, but Michaels, you take him right in the temple as he is tussling with Kate, and he just splinters and drops to the ground.
Elijah turns his back to go try to help Ruby up off the ground, but turning away, you can hear him say, 8, 9.
Okay, so as both of the agents drop to the ground, Dwight, what are you doing?
Dwight's going to surmise exactly what has happened first. He sees the explosion. Obviously there's 1,000 things going on. And he sees Sawyer shoot at both agents, take out both agents, and he kind of like, oh, fuck, we just killed U.S. agents kind of deal. And he'll try to he's going to try to wheel his ass out of there. I mean, he's going to go for Sabella to help her. He sees that she has been hit. I don't even know what he can do really with 5 hit points. He's going to wheel his ass over to her.
Sit down. Let's wheel out of here.
5 hit points.
We're going to get out of here. We're both at 5. Yeah, we're the 5 crew. So he's going to try to help her and Einstein. He's going to actually shout out, Sawyer, we got Einstein too. He's is he down as well?
Yeah, he is down.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to tell Sawyer
Thanks for the
that
host, brother.
Einstein is down. Sabella's obviously just got shot. She needs help. He just needs to get the hell out of there.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to have you do. Because of your current condition, you have to pick somebody. You can't have Einstein and
Sabella.
Sabella, but
Einstein, I'm not leaving my store.
Well, I'm taking you.
You can try.
Is this going to be contested? Is this going to be contested between you? 5 hit points versus 5 hit points.
Cripple contest.
It makes no difference. He goes for Sabella. He's going to try to grab Sabella to get her to. We got to go. It's you know what I mean. He screamed at Sawyer. Hopefully, Kate heard. Somebody can grab Einstein.
Okay, so he is wheeling over and kind of reaches down to grab you and pull you up. Sabella, are you resisting this?
Yes.
Okay, you're resisting the aid. I would like you each to make a contested strength roll. This is to see if...
Oh, wait, it's gone. Sorry.
I'm so bad at strength.
Okay, so as you've been shot, narratively, I mean, this is more sad than anything else.
Yeah, it is.
He reaches down and pulls you up onto his chair as he continues to wheel, and you kind of feebly fight against him as you're bleeding from the hip profusely, and the wounds that have hit you when it exploded.
Dwight can see looking back. Upset. Listen, Sabella, we have.
There's no time for talking. I'm gonna hurt you.
Stores can be rebuilt. We have to go.
Or I'm gonna hurt you.
Dwight doesn't listen. He just keeps going. He's like, we have to get out of here. You need to survive.
Looking at me? I'm not kidding.
Yeah, Dwight pays no mind to it. He's taking her out of the store. He's like, listen, stores can be rebuilt.
Greg, is he looking at me?
That is a question for Dwight.
Dwight is looking at the door to get the hell out. If you suggest that I have to look at her, then be it.
No. Just for the same reason that I do not make any rulings in this game. I don't make any rulings in this game, so we were going to do this. An opposed luck roll. Lowest luck wins.
This is going to be bad.
Yeah, you have no luck.
I'll crit it. I got 2 left. I'll crit it.
Fuck.
If my books were...
So with an expert wheelie motion, Dwight is able to grab Sabella up as she is fighting against him.
Kind of like Musher.
Avert his gaze as he continues to somehow work the wheels of the wheelchair.
To get her out of there, yes.
Bounces out the back, and as you run around the corner, you see the wagon train that is Greta, Syl Jefferson, and the prone Jack Kilgrave kind of making their way down the far, looking for a place to hide out as you guys kind of wheel out. Let's go back to Elijah. I'm going to leave Kate in here for a second. As Kate, you were blasted, and kind of, we're going to say that as our Agent Michaels was killed, you were kind of spun away from all of that. I want a full action from Elijah as you're grabbing Ruby. Did you want to try to get Einstein as well? Einstein seems dazed, but he's not out of it. I mean, he can still react if you help him.
He'll give it a try. No harm in trying to help Einstein. His first priority is Ruby, though.
Okay, so here's what I'll do. I'm going to give you Ruby, that you've already got her around, but I'm going to need a hard strength check if you want to somehow kind of fireman them both up and kind of get arms around both sides and kind of...
Elijah is not a fireman. He's the one that starts the fires.
Right. Well, it was worth a chance. Okay, so Einstein is kind of still on his knees as he's gasping for breath, and you're able to pull out and go out the back door. This leaves Kate in Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore as you are standing there, and Einstein's on the ground as the fire is beginning to spread.
Tell me about how the fire is beginning to spread, Greg.
It looks almost as if these, which you probably can't recognize as like footprints anymore, they've kind of bled and turned into lines, and they're kind of creeping almost like a pulled bit of if someone had spilled kerosene on the ground. They have a slight bluish hue to them as it begins to kind of creep along the hardwood. It's not out of control and raging yet by any stretch of the imagination, but it is active.
All right, so I'm going to do what I can to put this fire out at this point. Are there, like carpets and rugs and things of that nature that I can drag and use to smother it? That's my first instinct here.
Let's make a luck roll to see if, one, there were ever any carpets on the hardwood floor, and two, if they are still there after your jaunt of a couple months. Maybe so took them up for cleaning. We don't know. Have to roll a luck roll.
Can I roll it and then decide if I want to use my crit, Greg?
Oh, I'd love to help you out like that, but that's just that's not the rules though. I have it written right here that it's part
is that where you have those sunglasses sticking on someone's head rules written down, Greg?
It's part of the narrative, but yeah.
Okay, let me ask you
physics.
this question then before I make a decision here.
I feel the room turning on me, kids, but go right ahead.
Well, if this is what your help looks like, I feel as though I have no choice, Greg. So you talked about a slight blue tinge to the fire. As a scientist, does this look like the kind of thing that I can put out with water, or the kind of thing that might spread with water?
Why don't you roll a sciencey roll for me?
A sciencey roll. Alrighty. Ah, fuck.
Not
It's
sure.
Not my day for rolls. All right. I'm gonna crit the luck roll for stuff that I can use to smother it then.
Holy shit, there's a perfect rug that seems to be just like rolled up and set on a table as if it were there ready to be used to put out fires.
Amazing. So I'm going to start doing what I can to put out those fiery footprints and get this under control.
Okay, I want you to do two things for me as everybody else is kind of, to recap everybody's current position. Everyone is in the alley behind Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore in various states of escape from, in the big chain of events. We have Greta carrying the prone Jack Kilgrave being helped by NPC Syl Jefferson. Next in line, we have the wheeled warriors of Dwight Burke and Sabella Ives as they are being wheeled down the alleyway by Dwight, followed by Elijah Sawyer and the semi-conscious Ruby Foster as they have just left the building. Inside, I am going to allow you to automatically put this stuff out since you critted the luck. It's going to take you roughly 1.5 to 2 minutes to do so. And as soon as you're done, I would like you to roll a luck roll for me, please.
Extreme success.
And this is me using the dice to help you. So as you are putting out everything, as you kind of turn and throw the rug back in the direction that it was, trying to, make sure that it's not carrying any embers that could potentially spread. As you throw it, your eyes kind of track for a moment, and as the rug hits the ground and rolls over, you see a copy of Through the Looking Glass. Just lying there, as if maybe it was behind the rug.
Mm-hmm. Well, I definitely grab that.
Okay. And Einstein is up now, and you guys, you can probably need to help him, but you can escape out the back.
Yeah, I will help him, and I'm not sure about escape here. Just looking for where the others are at this point.
You saw the majority of them go out the back. I'm not sure if you did not see Greta leave with Jack.
Okay.
And
all right. Well, if I saw him go out the back, I'm going to follow him out the back, and head over to where they are.
Okay. We're just going to say, for the sake of narrative, you guys all meet up. You are currently behind the now vacant Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore. What would you like to do?
Can I get up?
Yes.
Oh, I get up and I go back inside my store.
Okay, so you're getting up and stalking back towards the store?
Well, I'm gonna slap Dwight,
Okay.
and then I will go
Um,
back in my store.
Elijah will try to get her in her way to stop her if it's like crazy on fire in there, like if it's gonna come down.
not.
It appears to be out, and Kate
Oh.
would be able to tell you.
Oh,
that.
never mind then. Yeah, sorry.
We just have an awkward shuffle around.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Not right now.
Yeah. I go inside and assess the damage.
Spot hidden for me.
Good. No.
This is more of a state of shock. You walk in and as anyone that's entered Ives before knows that while it carries a smidgen of the chaos that is a bookstore or a specialty bookstore, it was never dirty, it was never dusty, it was never things weren't out of place. If they appeared to be haphazardly stacked, a discerning eye would realize that they were all done by subject and title, and things were done with a purpose and a plan and an eye for that sort of detail of the written word and of the printed word. And as you walk in and try to kind of get the bent of Ives, the shop, maybe you're struck with whenever you first walked in with your Grandpa Lewis, when you know it for what it's supposed to look like, and you're just not seeing your store in this. And so instead of being able to get details, you just get difference. And you walk in and you can't see anything other than nothing's right.
Great.
What are the rest
I
of you
go
doing?
Sit behind my desk.
I'm looking for Elijah, and as I see him, I walk up and say, Mr. Sawyer, and I hand you the book. I think there might be a clue here. Just talk with Sabella and Syl, and they can get you pointed in the right direction. I got
I
something.
know this book by heart, Captain. I will look over it.
And look, I'm sorry that your Mr. Castillo got away, but looks like we took care of his boys pretty good, though. So
His
look,
boys?
yeah.
Those weren't Castile's boys. Those were government boys. Those were our boys.
What? What do you mean?
You just started shooting, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I certainly did. What were they doing here?
Never mind. They're dead now, and they don't know where we are. This is a perfect chance to drop off the radar, as it were.
Well, that is exactly the opposite of what I have planned, Mr. Sawyer. Take this book,
Of course it is.
and I tell you what, I'll be back. And Kate
Be here.
Kate strides down the alley and out into the street.
Elijah's just making sassy comments to Syl, saying he hopes she bought insurance for the bookstore, and then he's going to spend the rest of his time making sure Ruby is okay, and then making sassy comments about how he has bad luck and everything blows up around him.
Einstein spends the entire time agreeing with everything that Elijah is saying, just not gathering the sass, but battle. Oh yes, I completely understand. Oh, terrible luck. Everyone seems to be okay except for surface injuries. Dwight, what are you doing?
Dwight is like, he just got slapped. He tried to save somebody. He's been slapped. He's like, what in the fuck is going on? I mean, literally an explosion happened to him. He tried to get out of the building that was on fire. I mean, federal agents are dead. He kind of grabs Greta and Sawyer. He's like, you got to get Sabella. She's been shot. We have to get out of it. We literally have to leave this place as soon as possible. Something has to. We got to go. I mean, we cannot stay here. I mean, he's in a wheelchair. He's like this. We got to go. Grab them. Grab everybody, and we need to get the f out of here now.
What do you think I am doing?
So, yeah,
Greta,
whoever. I mean, Dwayne's in a wheelchair. He's like, take me. Get me out of here.
Last one's game.
Greta, you see to the injured. I'll arrange a safe place for us.
Dankeschön. If you...
Greta, what are you doing right now?
Well, Sabella's not here. She's the only like really injured person here, right? Besides wheelchair man, who I can't help today.
Right.
Because he's already seen a doctor.
Correct.
Well, then I'd be like, get out of like a little bit further away from this once on fire building with had gunshots ringing out from it. You know, GTFO.
Okay, so you guys are continuing to move away. I'm going to assume that everybody that's
At
in the
least
alley...
Greta.
Right, I'm going to assume that everybody in the alley is at least moving to distance themselves from the building. Is that a safe assumption? Okay, so let's go back inside the building. Sabella and Kate, you're walking around the front to the front.
No, I'm not. I'm walking out to the street.
Okay, so if you walked out to the street from behind, you're going to be going to a cross street. So you'd be kind of coming out the long side of the block from Ives. If you go up the alley and pop out, you'll pop out in the front of Ives. So you can, whatever your destination is, let me know and I'll tell you the best way to get there.
Yeah, my destination is the airfield, Greg.
Okay, walking out of the alley behind takes you to the cross street. Are you looking for a cab?
Yep.
Okay. At this point, there's a lot of emergency vehicles being dispatched to this area. So in walking or going anywhere else, it is going to definitely require you to kind of bleed out a radius around this to where they're allowing civilian traffic to come back in. Because as is typical in New York City, even back then, they kind of cordon off an area if there's a threat of a fire. They don't want, civilian traffic or personal traffic to kind of clog up the areas they're trying to get in, water trucks and things like that. And that's kind of what you're in the middle of right now. So your idea is just to kind of get out of this bubble and get a cab.
Yeah. Didn't quite count on this response time of New York's finest, I don't think, though. So as she gets out and kind of begins to shake off the shock of the whole experience, she stops for a moment and just shakes her head, and she turns around and starts jogging back toward the bookstore.
Okay. As you kind of about face and are returning, let us cut inside Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore to Sabella Ives, owner and operator.
Oh, I'm looking at the dead bodies and the shattered glass and the fire marks on my floor. And I feel pretty broken.
That seems like the best time for me to ask you to roll a sanity check then. Okay, and with that extreme success, I will allow you to roll a power check for me.
Miss Sabella Ives.
Okay, let's do this from Kate's point of view.
Oh, God.
Kate, as you walk into the back, I'm assuming you said you were going back into the bookstore, correct?
Yeah, the fastest means that I could.
That would be retracing your steps through the alleyway in the back and going in through the back entrance of Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore. As you walk in, you witness the following. Sabella is floating about 2 feet off the ground. Her eyes are completely rolled up into the back of her head. There is blood dripping from her nose, and rivulets of it are coming from the both corners of her eyes as she is sitting there, back completely arched, as some type of power that you've never quite seen before but is tinged in red. A very small amount you saw when she was pulling you all free from the purple mass down in Borneo. And as you watch, Agents Helmsley and Agent Michaels disappear. The blood that was on the floor, the brain matter that has been sprayed, the errant glasses that have been thrown to the ground disappear. They are not part of Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore. The fiery footprints, the soot, you watch as they slowly drift into the air and evaporate in a red dust. Those are not part of Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore. And as you watch, the rug that you used to put these things out isn't leaned up against the wall where you found it. It's perfectly fine. A runner coming from the front door to the desk. That is Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore. That is where it's supposed to be. And as you watch, books that were knocked free begin to go back into the shelves. They stack along a newly righted end table. Chairs that have been knocked askew or broken reform as Sabella sits, and you just see Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore reform around you. And with the last, just as the blood begins to drip from the nose, off the chin, over her white teeth, dripping down the front of her dress, mingling with the wound that's on her side, you watch as the front window reforms of Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore, because that's the way it's supposed to be. And then you see your friend collapse, because she is Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore. What would you like to do?
Sweet Jesus and his virgin mama. I think I probably noticed for the first time the gunshot wound, because I hadn't seen that before. And as she settles back to the ground, Kate is immediately by her side, kneeling down. Doctor, get over here. She's wounded. She needs your help right now.
Greta cannot hear this. Greta, Elijah, Dwight, Ruby Foster, Einstein, they are all making best speed away from Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore. Sabella, I would like you to roll 2d6 for me, please.
What?
Oh!
Nine.
You have lost 9 in your power points.
So we're alone. It's just the two of us here then, right?
Yep.
I'm going to try to give her first aid. So glad I pumped some points into that. But I'll take the success.
Just nailed it. You're able to stop any further bleeding. For technically and mechanically, for Cthulhu, this means that Sabella will be able to heal on her own going forward, but it also gives her back 1 hit point right now.
She could also receive further medical attention for additional hit points.
Thanks, Greta.
Just letting you know as your doctor.
Yeah, too bad there's not a doctor nearby.
Yeah, I'm helping the other unconscious people away.
Well, there's that, I suppose. Kate just sort of slumps down, leaning back against one of the bookshelves.
Roll a Constitution check for me.
Hard success.
Okay, that means you stay awake, which means I want you to roll a Sanity check.
Extreme success.
You're sitting there in a daze as you see 2 firefighters walk up, knock on the door, and slowly depress it and open the door and look around.
Everything's fine.
And they see that Sabella is wounded, and they see that you're awake. Ma'am, what's going on?
Oh, well, hello, boys. I'm not sure. I think there's something wrong with one of them cars out there. It just kind of blew up or something. But I think maybe we could use some paramedics or something. Are there?
Yes,
you
ma'am.
got
Yes,
some
ma'am.
of them?
He whistles really loudly, and 2
Please,
paramedics.
The guy from earlier.
2 paramedics run in, and one of them's wearing a light jacket. As he runs in and looks around and goes, "Oh, I know this bookstore. My mom came here once."
Little Jeej, there he goes.
And he looks over and sees the 2 of you, and you see his mouth start to open. Do you want to do anything?
No.
It is a different paramedic that's with him. So it doesn't seem like his partner from before is with him from Central Park, but he looks and he goes, as he gets close to you, he leans down and he says, "What's going on? Are you guys still..." Like, he pulls up his mask a little bit. "Do you guys have the plague?"
No, all right. We're fine, honey. But my friend is wounded. We need to get her some medical attention.
"You guys are like super unlucky," as he's sitting there. And he starts to work on Sabella, who is unconscious. And it doesn't seem like there's police coming into the building. Let's cut back to everybody else. Guys, you see from this distance, you're able to deposit the NPCs, if you will, if you elect to do something else. You've gotten to a small park that's 2 blocks away and are able to put them kind of like on a bench. You see some of the service vehicles going in. You see a couple water trucks. You see some of those low, almost station wagony looking ambulances go by. You kind of think you recognize one of the drivers, but that could be crazy. And so what would you like to do, my PCs, my Olympians that are?
Greta is, first thing she's gonna do is she's gonna take off her doctor's coat to kind of try to lay low a little bit.
Elijah's gonna ask Ruby, "Are y'all gonna be safe? You and Einstein have a place to go, right?"
"I was told the bookstore." Syl says, I can take him to my place. You remember your place, Ruby?
That might be for the best. It is not, as you've seen, very safe around us.
Syl says that she'll take them both to 116th Street in Harlem, to her apartment, if that's what you all agree to.
This is an interesting predicament.
Dwight's like, "I'm going with them. We need to hide. It's got to be safe.
Yeah.
We got to go." I mean, he just wants to get far away from vehicles, police. Who's awake? What's going on? That's his deal right now.
We have a man in a wheelchair, unconscious man, Einstein and Ruby, and so we are not the least obvious peoples.
Do y'all like Italian food?
She's gonna look at him. I suppose it is preferable over the federal government at this point.
Well, just particularly for me, I am famished, so the Ruby and Einstein aren't invited, but the rest of you all know where to find me.
And
You're
is
leaving?
Elijah...
You are invited to come along, soldier boy.
You're going to Castiles?
Why, yes. What, spaghetti, meatballs, ravioli? You don't like that kind of stuff? You a cheeseburger boy?
You've seriously lost your mind.
Cheeseburgers are disgusting. I tried one my first night here.
I'm apparently in the asylum because you people are making decisions that I just don't quite get.
We've been in the asylum since we met Jack Kilgrave.
Where is Jack? Is he with us? Is he unconscious? Yeah.
He's currently leaning up against the wall, staring straight ahead.
Not like aggressively, but Elijah kind of kicks him a little bit, just poke.
Can
reaction.
Greta try to figure out what's wrong with him while we talk?
Yeah, I was gonna say go ahead and do a medicine check on him.
Okay. Medicine.
Yeah, can we all look at him kind of in some sense to try to snap Jack out of this?
You can all stare at him, sure. Greta, after you get a couple minutes to take a look at him, Greta is a being of science. It's not so much about the emotional aspect of dealing with somebody. There's the removal aspect Greta has nailed. She also has her collection of facts and references from past experiments that enable her to diagnose and kind of eyeball certain things. And it takes a couple seconds for you to realize, oh my God, you've seen this for you recently.
Is it like recently? Is it the purple stuff? The purple goo? Is he in the purple goo?
Nope. He seems to be experiencing the exact same type of catatonic state as the Tyrannish.
Oh, okay. She's gonna kind of actually, instead of just deadpan like she is most of the time, she's kind of gonna be like, how interesting. I wonder how he replicated this.
Elijah's gonna just really quickly, not take time to read it right now, but flip through the Alice in Wonderland book and see if there's any. He's found hidden symbols and stuff in books before, so.
Right, but this one doesn't really require too much of a deciphering. As you flip through it, a small, irregular key slips out from the pages and clatters onto the stones at your feet.
Kind of point it out to everyone and pick it up, examine it. Irregular how?
You can roll me a spot hidden, or if you want to pass it around, I'll allow 2 other people to roll spot hiddens, which would at this point be the other PCs.
Let's do it, guys.
Okay.
Success.
Oh, we all figure out this key.
Yeah, you guys figured it out pretty quick, especially Dwight and Greta, as they look down and realize that this is an AutoCAD key. Something very similar to where Greta had her infamous cheeseburger. These are the keys that when people order specialty meals from the AutoCAD, they are able to go pick them up at their leisure. These little keys open up little lockers in little restaurants, and the little lockers contain food.
Ugh, I hope this does not mean I have to eat another cheeseburger. That was disgusting.
Un-American.
9.
I mean, yeah.
Proudly,
May or may not
Yeah.
It may or may not
In
be
Deutschland.
food.
I already knew this.
Hopefully it is a clue of some sort, but I do not know. But maybe it has something to do with the Herr Jacques is in a state nearly identical to that of the Tyrannish when we last saw her.
I suppose we can stop for fries before we get Italian.
The way is like, to any plans of other than going to Sill's house with the people that are already injured, and he's like, I'll go with them. I'll take Sill. I'll take Albert. I'll take Ruby and Jack. I mean, you name them. I'll take them all. I'm going that way. You guys can go eat Italian You can go find keys. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm going with them. I'm going to take these people to Sill's house.
Oh, Einstein, by the way, how was the Wahrheitsspucken going? You were.
What did you ask him?
I asked him how the Wahrheitsspucken was going. It was the thing I was having him help me work on when I left to go to.
Oh yes, all of my papers are inside.
Oh, fair. You made progress then.
Yeah.
Good. We will have to discuss this later.
I was able to get through some old notes from an old friend of Jack's. She stopped.
Interesting.
Very smart. You would have liked her, I believe.
Really? That is a rare thing.
It is. As the plans are all going down, let's make one determination here. Greta and Elijah, you're going for fries in Italian?
I guess so.
Yeah.
She can't really do anything for Jack because he's in a catatonic state and she needs to think about what to try to attempt before and get some supplies potentially before just trying stuff.
Okay. And Dwight, you are going back to 116th Street?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to allow Dwight to get a cab or several cabs as you take your train of people. And weekend at Bernie's, weekend at Jack's, whatever you want to call it. You get Jack into the cab, and you guys are able to make it to 116th Street as Elijah and Greta leave for the auto cafeteria. Is that where you're going first? Or, okay, Greta knows the way there. Let's cut back to the interior of Sabella's, or the Ives, esoteric and antiquarian bookstore as Sabella wakes up.
Oh, I see the face of that little paramedic.
Yeah, as soon as your eyes open, he goes, "Oh, happy birthday."
Thank you. Do you have a name?
Me? Yeah.
What is it?
Oh, we're not supposed to tell.
I don't think that's true.
Roll a persuasion check.
I'm fixated on this. But you can tell me. I've just been shot.
He looks over at the other paramedic, and the other paramedic looks at him and kind of does one of these, and he says, "Brian."
That's a lovely name, Brian. How's my hip looking?
Oh, you were shot.
I know, I felt it.
How do you feel?
Not great, but, and I look around, a little better now.
Brian with a Y, Summer.
I knew that spelling.
That's how I spelled it, so I'm glad.
Well, thank you, Brian.
Yeah, do you want to go to the hospital? We're
Should
kind of supposed
I?
to take you. I don't know, you were shot.
I mean, am I gonna be all right?
I
Oh, hi, Katie.
Hi, Sabella. I think, Brian, we got our own doctor. I think, I'm not quite sure we need to be going anywhere just now.
Where is the doc?
She's really smart. Yeah, you guys got a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure where she is right now, Sabella, but I think I'm sure she'll be back here at some point.
Are you okay? You haven't been shot, have you?
And this time it's Kate, kind of who's doing that squinty eye thing at Sabella for a moment. And then she says, No, I haven't. I'm fine.
That's good.
Hey, did you guys see what happened to the dead guys outside?
What dead guys?
I think there's like 3 or 4 dead guys outside.
What happened to them?
I don't know, something blew up.
Oh, that something blew up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We We heard that, Brian. We were right here, so
In the store.
just minding our own business.
The other paramedic leans over and says, Brian, tell him what you thought it was.
Yes,
Brian.
Brian, please do.
I'm very interested, Brian, in whatever theory you might have.
Sewer guys.
I've heard of that. You are a bright young lad.
Right?
Well, I think I'm all right if you want to go, back to your job of saving other people's lives. I think I'll be okay.
Okay. He gets up and just walks out.
Great. What?
Are
Okay,
the
is everyone
firefighters
out?
gone as
Yes.
well?
Is everyone out?
Yeah,
of the
they
store?
ran. They had run out as soon as the paramedics came in.
What blew up?
Kate is not laughing. Allison's laughing. Kate is not laughing.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
Well, it was one of them. It was one of them cars. I guess they were government agents or something. I guess I thought they were. Well, it ain't important now, I suppose. Yeah, one of them cars blew up though, and then the other one blew up too.
How? I mean, was it just? I mean, did Phil Castillo do it?
No,
I heard him yammering as I was coming down the stairs.
no, Sabella Phil Castillo did not do it.
That's good.
No, it's probably not good because I might have done it. I might have. I shot the one. I mean, I didn't think it was going to blow up quite that big, and then I definitely didn't think the other one was going to blow up. I thought I'd kind of mapped it all out in my head, but it was way bigger than I thought it was going to be. So yeah, that was me. I mean, I thought that if I blew it up, that maybe the ones who was inside, they'd come running out, and then I could take care of them too, and everything would be safe. But well, it didn't. It didn't quite turn out that way.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I guess.
Can you please go?
Go? Well, we'll go where?
I don't know. Our friends aren't here, so maybe you should go find them.
So you want me to go find the rest of them and bring them back here?
Yeah, everything's fine, isn't it?
Well, I think so. Are you going to be okay?
I'm peachy.
Well, yeah. All right. I'm going to go. I'll go see what I can do then.
Thank you, Miss O'Callahan.
You're
Bye-bye.
welcome. Kate gets up and walks out the front door and just stands there for a few minutes, like she's trying to figure out where even to go at this point.
Yeah, Kate, as you're standing out there, around you, you see people kind of rushing around as they are pulling what's left of a couple of these agents that had been standing close to the car out of, like, there's one of them that's laced in a wrought iron fence of a shop further down the street. One of them is blown under a car across the street. You see that they're just kind of in various states of carnage out here as the explosion that rocked everything. But just by your rough count, it looks as if no one is being rushed to the hospital. Anyone that was outside that might have been a witness to this attack has, luckily as the dice would have it, died during the explosion. So the specifics of the events that occurred outside of Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore here on this Thursday, July 27th of 1933, are the property of one Cato Callahan, America's flying sweetheart. And you just stare and watch the street as New York's finest clean up a mess. And let's cut to Greta and Elijah as they are nearing the end of a pretty quick cab ride down to Battery Park as they get out at the AutoCAD. And let me see if I still have it, which I don't think I do. But as you guys get out and look around, it is quick to notice that there is a number on the key. And when you find the specific bank of the banks and rows that make up this restaurant, and if I can find the picture, I'll put it up for everybody because they're neat, and I'm not sure I still have it up, actually. If I see it, I'll pop it up. But as you guys look around and you see everything, yep, I do have it, Automat, boom. You open up one of the little lockers, and inside is a roast beef sandwich and a letter.
I grab the letter.
I knew that would get you going.
I know. I mostly just said that to get Lauren's reaction, but because I still have her package too, so that's safe.
Right. It is. The letter reads, "The ground beneath the tug Pegasus," and it is signed Tom.
The ground beneath the tug Pegasus?
The ground beneath the tug Pegasus, and it is signed Tom.
Where do you want the sandwich?
I'm trying to save room. I'm not very hungry. I've been over quite a few fiction books in my day, but that message not jumping out at me.
I do not think I know what this means.
Greta, I'm not going to
Yeah.
let Greta roll, but I will allow a extreme intelligence or idea roll from Elijah to get this. You cannot crit on this one. This is a raw roll.
Nope.
There's something. It's right kind of tip of your tongue. However, with that roll and the idea, you know some people that know everything about this city. And it just so happens you're in the mood for Italian.
Now, Greta, you've been here before, so I appreciate the help, but where I'm going, it's, you know the kind of person you've been introduced now.
Oh yeah, I have encountered him 3 times now.
I'm sure you're not looking to make that 4.
Well, it would not be wise for you to go alone, I do not think.
You Germans are made out of something else, you know that?
Yes, we are.
I ever tell you about my granddaddy? He was part German.
No, you have not.
Elijah will go off on one of his
She'll kind of be like, so what city was he from? And just kind of
Dusseldorf, actually.
Dusseldorf. Lovely this time of year.
I wouldn't know. I've never been. But the way he talked about it, you could tell he left Germany, but Germany never left him.
It never does.
Are you going to try to see if he's bullshitting you? If
Yeah.
not, we'll just let this. Okay, just like with the opposed power checks here, kids, to see.
Opposed power checks. Okay.
On this one, yeah. Or I'm sorry, persuade and psychology. I'm sorry.
Okay. Psychology or psychoanalysis?
Whichever one you used before, yeah.
Okay.
You can tell her off screen whether or not that was the truth or a lie. Also, whatever the ad is, If it was the truth, it will aid you in potential sanity recovery. So we'll see. So are you guys going to make your way to the Green Garden Cafe in Brooklyn? 100 and-
To a phone booth and then the Green Garden.
Yes, he did say to call.
You okay? Ring, ring. Yeah, hello.
I would like to take an order out for delivery. One named Derelict.
Oh, please
Mr.
say you're
Lect.
doing dine-in instead of delivery.
No, Mr. Lect, your table is waiting for you. You can come over this evening. Thursday evening, tonight would be nice. We will have our best table has been reserved, Mr. Lect.
Delicious, thank you, friend.
So in the instance of the narrative and the fact that we apparently have a bonus episode coming up this weekend, we are going to fast forward to 141th Central Avenue in Brooklyn the following evening, or the very evening of the Thursday, the 23rd of July, or 27th of July, whatever it was, 1933. One Greta and one Elijah Sawyer. Greta dressed as the Doc. Elijah dressed as Derelict.
Not dressed as the Doc.
Not dressed as the Doc. We'll get into that maybe this weekend. But I want to leave you all with this. As you are walked inside this immaculate, long stretch, almost like a row house restaurant that is several times as long as it is wide. The Green Garden Cafe is beautiful. People almost in tuxedos. Everyone, all the wait staff, tuxedos. All the men dressed impeccably with their suits, most of them in three pieces. The women in pearls and jewels, some with their hair wrapped, some with their hair down. Everything is expensive and exquisite here in the era of the Depression in New York City. But Brooklyn, the Green Garden Cafe, everything is fine here. There's money to be made. There are hustles that are occurring. And as you are ushered back, you are taken into a private room where you sit down at a very large circular table, absent of anybody else except for one gentleman who is seated there, and he pulls his chair out when he sees Greta come up and nods at both of you. And as you sit down, the waiter comes in, but you can tell right away, Elijah, that this is not just a waiter. This is a kid that's, busting chops on the street just as much as he's serving pork chops here in the Green Garden. And he comes in and he says, Mr. Lect, sir, it is good to see you. It is good to see you. Welcome to the Green Garden. Everything is on the house. Wine, what would you like to drink? And then he looks over at the other gentleman. He goes, do you know John Dillinger? And that is where we will end tonight's episode of Project Athena's Pulp Cthulhu. But not for the week. But let's get around to everybody before we continue. Allison, what'd you think?
Yeah. That was fun, everybody. Thanks so much for playing. And thanks for all the crits and all of the chat. And we'll see you next week. Until then, you can find me on Twitter questioning all of my life choices at Allison Robinson with 2 L's and a Y. Catch me on the God's Fall podcast. New episodes coming out weekly, as well as Wander Quest, where shit's getting real too. So if you're into that sort of thing, check me out on the Wander Quest podcast as well. Bye, guys.
That was great. And everybody, let it be known too that I had nothing to do with the karmic hell that Allison pulled down on herself. She said, this is the only thing I've eaten lunch that's not as psychologically demanding as this episode. And I knew that the dice would do something. I tried my best. And so did Lauren. Lauren, what have you got?
I thought I was gonna kill you tonight. I'm not saying who I'm addressing that to. Hi, I'm Lauren. That happened. I'm great. You can find me on Twitter at that salty ginger. I play games. I post about it. Just come find it there. Thanks.
A woman of few words. Stephen, Dwight, he's pissed. He's hiding. He has no idea why everybody else wants Italian food. How you feeling, buddy?
Dwight, I feel like everybody else has lost reason. He's going to attempt to keep on track. He's going to attempt to wake Jack. Ruby apparently is his only key right now. He is completely confused as what has happened in the past 20 minutes. He doesn't know where, you have literally put the dog in charge of the mission of what's going on here. He has no clue what he's got to do, but he realizes Jack is the key. He is with the NPCs. Whatever happens with that situation, we'll find out. But his first quest is to wake up Jack and somehow, survive this whole thing.
It's a good life goal, and I applaud it, and I like it, and it could definitely lead to something. And speaking of leading to something,
you've put me in it.
I have put you nowhere. I merely tell you where you've led yourself. Thus is the job of a keeper. Sawyer, Christ, Strider, Elijah, what'd you think about tonight, bud?
Tremendous. So much support I'm seeing in chat. Everyone's giving us so much praise. It's a blessing just to be able to be here and play with you guys. Everyone's fantastic. I'm just trying my best to keep up. Yeah, I'll be here to pull some Sawyer shenanigans, the kind of stuff I've been waiting for this whole campaign next weekend. So make sure to check that out. I am going to be the biggest pain in the ass for Greg that I can possibly be. So check it out.
Sounds awesome. Speaking of pains in the ass, Lindy.
Excuse me?
No, I meant what? I didn't say any of that.
Well, I can honestly say that Greta is probably one of the least confused people in this episode, because she was just in the right spot to catch what was going on as she moved around the place. But near no one else to inform them what is going on. She's just like, oh, this is happening. Let me go let Sabella know. Oh, this is happening. We gotta go. Yeah, that took a very unexpected turn. Well then, exciting. Glad we survived that for now. And I can't believe I'm going to get stupid Italian food. It makes me so bad, but Greta would definitely do it because she doesn't hate him as much as I hate him. But at least tell me we could have gotten some new clothes on the way to get Italian, Greg.
Yes.
It's a fancy place. Greta's gonna let her hair down.
Oh, it's gonna be Elijah's treat. Come and see. I got plans.
Oh, awesome. We'll discuss them later. But yeah, you can find me online at Laugh Love Lindy, doing shit tons of games. Lots of D&D, Cthulhu, on my own channel, video games, D&D, cosplay, all the good stuff. And on Wednesdays with this guy playing Call of Cthulhu on Encounter Roleplay's channel, and on Tuesdays, every podcast that is from Tomes and Tentacles. We're on that too.
Awesome. Yep, all those great things. I want to thank everybody that Mint Magician for subscribing today, all the followers that we got, all the raids and lovely hosts that people gave to us. Fantastic stuff. I love the support. Season 2 is really cranking up. The bad boy, both in chat and on screen as Agent Helmsley with Agent Michaels, worked out well. I will let you guys know that apparently in chat we have decided it would be a good thing to have both Greta and Elijah continue this little scene in the Green Garden Cafe. It'll be coming to you this Saturday night for a bonus episode. Our first season 2 bonus episode will be occurring this Saturday night at 9 o'clock Eastern as we see exactly what's going to happen at the Green Garden Cafe. We might be doing a little drinky too, as it is St. Paddy's Day.
St. Paddy's Day! The Welsh woman in me is happy.
I mean, why not be here for that, right? That's not St. Paddy's Day yet, and that's the reaction. We'll be here. We're going to be drinking. We're going to be hanging out with the mafioso, little Phil Castillo. We get to see Derelict, Chrysanthemum, and Elijah Sawyer, or whoever he's going to be calling himself next week, at full effect, cranked to a 10, Greta in a dress. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you all. It is a pleasure to work with these people. As much shit as I give them and put them through, I love them equally as much, but I keep it all inside. I keep it all locked away in the heart. But you're in 2018, as are we. But by God, instead of 7 days, we're cutting it down to 6. 6 more days to 1933. We will see you there. Please take care of yourselves. We love you. God bless.